A little birdie told me that this girl, Blondie, she was getting paid $27. Now I'm pissed. I remember my manager yelling at me, yelling to the freaking gods. You were supposed to put those towels in the wash machine. Like, why aren't you doing your job? Just like, oh, I was helping. She was like, nope, this is what you were supposed to be doing. I went in the bathroom and I started bawling my eyes out. I'm crying. Hi guys, my name is Mia Rivers and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another story time, of course, something that you guys all love. A little disclaimer right now, I'm super tired, my body aches, I'm stuffy. Yeah, I'm just really not feeling good. That's why I don't look the best. The only thing I can do for you guys is some freaking lip gloss because that's the best that I can do right now. So I have some tea that I'm drinking right now and I'm going to sit here and tell you guys this really juicy story time. Of course, my hair is different again. Do you guys like it? It's different. It won't be like this much longer though. Graduation pictures are going to be like in the end of November. I'll be doing something else. Another thing, I got my nails done. They're kind of a little outgrown right now, but I got a new ring for my birthday gift that I bought myself. So yeah. Oh, and guys, I got a cat now. She's walking around here. She might pop up. I'm not sure. And if not, I'll show you at the end of the video. Today, it's kind of like my worst job experience, drama at work, I would say. And I really wanted to talk about it because I felt like it was really important. I felt like a lot of people have the exact same story as me. And this is very juicy, guys. So I have to tell you the backstory, of course, and then I'll get into everything else. If you guys want to just jump into what happened, I might put a timestamp or something like that so you can actually just jump to it. But I advise you to actually listen to the backstory so you can understand why it happened. One thing I would want to say is that I am not bashing anyone. I'm not bashing the company. I'm not bashing the people that were actually in the situation. I'm just telling you my experience and what happened. And anyway, make sure you grab your popcorn, get your drink, get something because this is a big story. And another thing too, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I was living in Texas for a while, okay? I was only living in Texas for about like 2 years when this took place. And you guys all know that I am wanting to be a veterinarian. I applied to vet school. I should be hearing from them in December, but this happened 2019 when I moved to Texas, and I was in school. Back then, I was trying to get my RVT license. So if you guys don't know what an RVT is like kind of like a registered nurse, but it's a registered vet technician basically. And that's what I was there for. But it kind of got to the point where I needed a job. COVID was kind of happening and I couldn't find a job in Texas, so I moved to LA. I found a job there. But the thing was, I wasn't going to be an actual assistant because I didn't have any experience. So I was going to be a kennel attendant. So if you guys don't know what a kennel attendant is, it's basically a person who cleans up, basically. Kind of similar like a janitor. I don't really want to say that's kind of like a janitor, but kind of similar to a janitor. They clean the kennels, they take the dogs out, they feed the animals, they wash the dishes, they do the laundry, they basically assist the assistants and the technicians and the doctors if they need help. So then when I got there was 3 registered technicians there. When I walked in there and was my first day, I remember looking at them going into surgery, prepping for surgery, giving dogs vaccines and all this other stuff. And I remember looking and I'm just like, this is something that I want to do. This is my passion. I remember calling my mom and I was like, I want to do that. Then my mom was like, you just gotta wait, you gotta be patient, trust me, you're gonna get there one day, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So scooting past everything, those 2 technicians left. So they dipped out of here. So like I said, it was only 3 technicians and 2 left, so it was only leaving 1. She was the lead tech, I would have to say, and she was been working there for about 20 plus years. So I would kind of say do a little bit more. Hi, Annie. Thank you. Okay, you can leave now. So I was kind of like moving up in the way, and I was like, I get to do this, I get to do that. And I was actually really, really happy because I get to do something a little bit more exciting. So I was like looking, and I was like, wow, like this is really interesting. I really, really like this. We were really short-staffed. Even though for me, I was like getting a lot of like hands-on experience, we were really short-staffed. So we got 2 technicians. They weren't registered technicians, but they were just, let's just say technicians. And let me just call them, we're gonna give them a name. Let's call them backyardigans. Okay. These technicians were backyardigans. One of the girls, I'm gonna call them redneck, and the other one ghetto chick, because that's just what they are. They come in here and they're dealing with the animals. The first day, I was there with ghetto chick when she did her interview. She came in and she was super professional. Smiling, she dressed professional. Everything about her was really, really professional. But the day that she was working, on her first day, all hell broke loose. She started wearing Uggs to work. She started cussing, big, nasty cuss words. She would say the N-word. She would have suckers in her mouth while she was getting patients and getting talking to clients. She would have suckers in her mouth with candy. So if I can find a picture, I would. But you guys know those exercise bands? So she would have the exercise bands around her legs and doing exercises while getting patients and everything. What? Yeah, really professional, right? And then crackhead over here. Or no, what did I name her? Not crackhead. Redneck over here. I don't know what she was doing. I think she got hit in the head when she was a baby or something like that. I don't really know what happened, but she played loud music in the mornings, like very unprofessional. She didn't know nothing. She would be asking me questions. Let me just tell you, I am a kennel attendant, you know? So she would ask me questions like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I'm just like, aren't you a tech? Like, why are you asking me questions? Like, that's weird. And I'm not gonna lie, it really made me upset because I really wanted that position. I was probably working there for about 4 months. Probably, and I already like wanted to move up because I watched so much, looked at catheters, I looked at intubating, I looked at dentos, I looked at surgeries. I knew that's what I wanted to do. This is not something that I'm just like working just to pay my bills. Like, I don't really care how much I was getting paid. I just wanted to learn. Looking at these girls that were really ghetto and really unprofessional getting the job that I want, this was really messed up to me. This is really what was really crazy. I remember this one time we were like doing something, and one of the girls, I think it was a redneck, was like, oh my god, I thought you were a tech. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm a kennel attendant. And they were like, oh, like, I didn't know. I thought you were one of us. I'm just like, no, I'm not. So it was like, they already thought that I was a tech when I wasn't, which was really weird. I can't even explain to you what else they were doing. The ghetto chick will come to work high as hell. Like, I would be holding for her and she would just be like opening her eyes and it was red, like dark red, and she was like, yeah, I'm so high. And I was like, and she's giving medicine to this dog. This was bad, guys. This was really bad. And I was just like, what the heck? Like, but yeah, like the loud cussing, that was just a really big problem, like a really, really big problem. So I kind of always felt like I was always watching them to make sure that everything worked smoothly. And I even remember one time, like, ghetto chick was trying to get blood. We get the blood from the jugular vein. So I'm holding for her and she's stabbing the needle inside this dog's like neck, like viciously, like going back and forth, trying to find the vein. And I'm looking at her like, this is not right. I do remember talking to the manager about this situation. I was like, they don't know anything. They're so super unprofessional. And I remember the manager just looking at me like, yeah, you're right. But nothing happened. They didn't get talked to. Nothing really happened. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I can't really do anything about the situation anyway. Now, this is where the story begins. Since I just gave you the backstory, I'll give you this story now. So one day, one sunny, magical day, I walked into work. And like I told you before, I felt like I had to watch over them and make sure that everything was correct because I love my animals. Your animals are my animals. I remember walking in and I was taking, I think a technician appointment came in. A redneck came over and she was doing, I guess the dog needed treatment. I was like holding and everything. And my manager, and let's just call her Linda, came up to me and she was just like, I need to talk to you. So then I came over there and I said like, yes. She was like, when you came in here, you saw all those towels up there stacked up and you didn't even put them in the washing machine. okay. She was yelling at me, yelling to the freaking gods. She was like, you were supposed to put those towels in the wash machine. Like, why aren't you doing your job? This is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be putting these towels in the wash machine and then the dryer and everything like that. You're just gonna let these towels stack up, and like mad. And I was just like, oh, I was helping. She was like, nope, 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 nope. This is what you're supposed to be doing. So I was like, okay. And I'm gonna tell you right now, back then, I think I was 21. I'm 24 right now. I was very upset to the point where I was really sensitive. I remember going to the bathroom and started crying. And I was just like, okay, like I'm wiping my tears, whatever. So then I walked past, and then she goes, come here. She talks to me again. She tells me to come here again. So I'm coming over there, and she's like, so I'm putting all these towels in the from the wash machine to the dryer, and you ain't gonna do anything? You ain't gonna help me? And I said, I didn't see you. I really didn't see her. I said, I didn't see you. She was like, no, you're lying. You did see me. You did see me. And I was like, no, I didn't. She was like, do this right now. All this stuff has to be done right now. And mind you, she did this in front of everyone, guys. I did all the towels and everything like that. I went in the bathroom and I started bawling my eyes out. I'm crying. I remember coming out the bathroom, and one of my coworkers, which I already was talking to her about quitting because, like I said before, got these two dingbats, backyardigans coming over here smoking weed, coming in here high as hell, saying the N-word, over here being unprofessional, over here arguing with the clients. And you gotta yell at me because I didn't put no freaking towels in the wash machine? Really? Then my coworker, and I just looked at her, and she looked at me, and she's like, you're gonna quit, huh? And I was like, yeah, I'm quitting because this is just not right. This is just really, really, really not right. So I go to the bathroom again because I'm trying to wipe my tears. I'm trying to be calm, right? So I'm talking to my mom, and I was like, she yelled at me, and this happened, and that happened, and and then she's like, calm down. You need to go. You need to leave. And I was like, okay, like, how am I gonna leave? I was so like, well, I guess I'm kind of still gullible, but I was like, how am I gonna go? How am I gonna leave? And she's like, no, you really have to go. Like, you cannot work in this condition. You're gonna be crying all the time. Have to leave. You have to go. Tell her that you need to leave. So I was like, I'm scared. And she's like, okay, let me like be on the phone with you. So I have my phone with me, and I walk in the office, and she just looks at me, and I say, hey, like, Linda, I'm really not feeling well, and I'm on my period, and I'm really cramping really bad. Like, I have to go home. And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Oh my God. Okay, you can go. And I was like, okay. So then I got my stuff and I left. So I go back on my phone with my mom, and she's like, why is she acting all nice? Why is she acting like she just didn't just scream at you? I said, I don't even know. So I go home. My mom was like, I was telling my mom, I was like, I really just I don't want to be here anymore. This doesn't make any sense. You got these two backyardigans coming over here doing God knows what, doing whatever they want. And I am caring. I am passionate in what I want to do. I look at your patients and I look at your animals as if they were mine, and you got these people being so unprofessional, and that's okay. And you gonna yell at me because I didn't put no freaking towels in the wash machine? So I was just like, you know what? I want to quit. So then my mom writes me a very good letter, and I'm at home at this time, and my mom's at work. She wrote me a letter, and I sent it to my other manager. I'm gonna just call her other manager. I sent it to my other manager, telling her basically I was disrespected, I was yelled at in front of everyone, and I just don't want to do this anymore, so I am quitting. At that situation, Linda kept calling me back to back because a few moments later, I guess the other manager texted Linda and basically told her that I was putting in my 2 weeks. She called me, and she just kept calling me, and then she left a voice message. And listen to this.
Hey, Mia, it's told me you're putting in notice. Could you please call so we could talk about this for you? When I talked to you this morning, I didn't mean to upset you, but, we needed to talk about that. So I would appreciate it if you call me, because I would like to speak with you, okay? Thank you.
So you can really see in that voice message that she said, oh, we just have to talk about it. Girl, you were yelling at me in front of everyone. This wasn't like a talk. I am very an understanding person. If she came up to me and said, hey, we really want to talk about this, like what's going on, like why are these towels here, I would have definitely told her and explained to her. I was like, because you got these two stupid heads. And let me just tell you something, animals dealing with treatment is so much important than some freaking dirty ass towels. So yes, I'm going to look after, if I don't feel like they're safe, I'm going to look after the animals than some freaking towels. So it was like, I would have explained that to her, but no, she's screaming at me and yelling at me 2 times. So it's like, what the heck? She called me and I just listened to it. I even showed it to my mom and she was just like, wow, that's really crazy. So me and the other manager was emailing back and forth because when I texted her, she said she wanted to email. So I was like, okay, cool. So I emailed her and I was like, hey, like this was going on. And she's like, well, what's going on? What's happening? I told her again, and she's just like, well, why? And I'm like, well, you got these stupid people working. I'm passionate. Like, I can work for free. I just want to learn more. I want to be in their position. I want to take care of animals. Like, what the heck? And she's just like, well, you're just not ready yet, and you can't just work for free. It just doesn't work like that, and whatever. So I don't really know. I can't really remember how the conversation went back and forth, but let me just basically tell you that I was going to put in my 2 weeks notice, and I told her directly that I was just doing kennel work, because before, in between, when those 2 techs left, I stepped up and started doing stats. So if you guys don't know what stats are, I was writing down like their blood pressure, I was writing down their fluid rate, I was writing down their heart rate, just making sure that the animal is perfectly fine under anesthesia. I was also not really calculating drugs, but kind of just like looking at it and stuff like that. That was the closest I did to do. That was a technician thing, basically. And I basically told her, I was like, I am not doing any tech work, just strictly kennel work. Anything that was on my job description, that's exactly what I'm doing. Because what you're not going to do is take me and then want me to do kennel work and then want me to do tech work too. It's like, no, you're not doing that. Like, no, that's not happening. So then I go to work the first day and I just start cleaning. And I remember the lead tech came over and she was just like, please, Mia, stay. Please, 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 please stay. And I'm just like, you don't understand what happened. Like, I was disrespected. She's like, I know, but don't leave me with them. Like, don't leave me. Everyone, it was crazy too, everyone knew that they were messed up. Everyone knew that those backyardigans were messed up. They were from the trenches. They were horrible. And so I was just like, no, like, I'm fine. I literally cleaned all day. It was like literally like the easiest job that I kind of was doing. I wasn't cleaning any like instruments, because that's another tech thing. I just cleaned my dishes. I sweeped. I mopped. I took the dogs out. I fed the animals. I did everything that I was supposed to do as a kennel attendant. I remember one time tech was like, hey, can you help me do stats, or can you do stats for quick? And I said, no, that's not in your job description. I do strictly kennel. Since you want to be in kennel, I only do kennel stuff. So closer to that day, everyone was kind of weird. I remember my boss, the owner, okay? When I say boss. So I remember my boss was just like kind of acting kind of weird in front of me, kind of like, it was just a weird environment. And I remember her coming up to me and she was like, you know what, your job is really important and I don't really think that you should put your 2 weeks and I think you should stay. And I was like, yeah. I was just listening to her. I wasn't really saying anything. I was just listening to her. She was very nice. And she was just like, it takes a lot to become a tech. And I was just looking like, and you already know I was about to think, and I'm thinking like, but you got these 2 people coming in here. Hi. Oh, okay. She's like, oh yeah, she's like, it's really important. It really takes time to be a tech and move up. And I'm like, looking at her like, girl, what? What? Really like persuading me to stay. Like, they were like, please stay, please stay. And I'm just like, I don't really know. I remember talking to the other manager, and I was basically telling her about my situation, and she was like, actually, like, we want to move you up. We just have to find another kennel. That is the only reason why I decided to stay, because she said that she was going to find another kennel person so I can move up. So I was happy. I was really, 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 really happy. Another thing too, freaking Linda was being very, very nice to me for those 2 weeks. She was just like, oh, like making sure I was safe outside, like, just things like that. I'm just like, girl, you don't love me. You don't care about me. Like, whatever. But anyway, I still decided to stay. And let me just put this out. When I was in kennel, I was getting $15.50. And when I moved up, I was getting $18. And this is really important that I was getting $18. The 2 backyardigans got fired. Ghetto chick got into a fight with someone. Redneck almost, technically, I don't want to say kill an animal, but she cut the catheter. And if you guys don't know that if you guys cut the catheter can go up to the vein and travel and basically die, basically. And that's very, 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 very dangerous because they have to go back in surgery and then they have to cut the vein and take out the catheter. And that's exactly what she did. She cut the catheter and it almost got inside, but the lead tech got it out. And she tried lying about it. And me, being a kennel person, her and knowing that she was wrong and what she was doing was wrong and she wasn't listening to me, and I spoke up and said something about it. Yeah, that happened. So they got fired and I actually moved up. I moved up to assistant and I was happy. I was so happy. Then we got these 2 other technicians. They were perfect. They were nice. They were good. Of course, I was learning more. I was doing calculating drugs. I was intubating. I was drawing blood. I was doing a lot of stuff. So I was growing higher. But these 2 technicians were really awesome. One of the technicians left because she went to a different state, and then the other technician stayed there. So the other technician went to a different state, so we had to replace that technician. This girl, we're gonna call her Blondie, okay? So Blondie came to the situation. She did a working interview. We talked to her. She was very nice, very professional. We just really liked her. Later on, when I began to talk to her and get to know her, I was realizing that this chick doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She was literally the definition of I lied on my resume, because she literally lied on her resume. She said that she had 10 plus years of experience. She knew how to do blood work. She knew how to do this. She knew how to do that. And then she came in here not knowing how to do nothing. This girl didn't know how to do blood. She didn't know how to put anything under anesthesia. She didn't know how to do x-rays. It seems like we really grabbed this chick out the trenches and we put her into this job because she didn't know how to do nothing. I knew how to do a lot more, and I was literally working there for about almost 3 years. It was really aggravating. Then I started not liking her because I'm thinking, like, this chick doesn't know how to do anything. And I'm not trying to say that when you go into a job that you know how to do everything, but I can learn. That's the thing. I was teaching her things and she wasn't getting it. Her mind was not getting it. That's why I call her Blondie, because she was dumb. She was grabbing wrong medications and was about to give this dog like this drug and that drug. I remember one time, like, I was walking by and she just started crying, and I was being nice, and I was like, oh, why are you crying? And she was just like, how do you calculate the surgical rate? And I was like, you take the KIGS and you times it by 6. Thank you. And I'm like, does this chick really, is she really serious? Is she really crying because she didn't know how to, what? That's the easiest thing. She would always be crying if things got frustrated. So a little birdie told me that she was getting paid $27.
What? What the fuck?
$27. Now I'm pissed. Especially the other technician that actually stayed, she was mad too, because she was only getting paid like 22, I believe. And she was like, how is this chick getting paid 27 and I'm getting paid 18? So then I was like, hold on, the math ain't mathin', because if I gotta teach this girl how to tie her shoe, if I gotta teach this girl how to count 1 through 10, if I gotta teach this girl how to wipe her ass, how the hell is she getting 27 and I'm getting 18? That doesn't make any freaking sense. So I got very angry. I was doing surgeries like back to back. There were times when I didn't have lunch and I was working overtime. I stayed for work, and I think I stayed until like 9, and I was doing emergency surgeries and everything like that, and all she was to do was do this, because she didn't know what to do. I was very, very, very angry. I literally like started looking for jobs. The other girl started looking for jobs too, because she was just like, I don't understand how I'm getting 22 and she getting 27. $8 more than me, bro. I'm gonna put that in different languages so you understand that she was getting paid $8 more than me. Make it make sense, because I don't get it, baby. And I wrote Linda a strong letter that my mom wrote me, and I gave it to her and she read it and we talked, and I told the truth. Hey, I don't understand how she's getting more than me when I'm teaching her every single freaking thing to do. Everything. She don't know nothing. And like, literally, she lied on her resume. I kid you not. Linda looked at me and go, yeah, that's really, really bad. Wow, yeah, So basically, nothing really happened. I had a couple job interviews, and it was one I really, really, really liked. But unfortunately, I did everything. I pulled blood, I got urine, I did x-rays for them, and they were literally trying to get me $22. And I didn't feel like that was fair because, first of all, I did everything correctly for them. I knew if this blondie chick can get 27, I know I can get something close to that, especially that I know how to do everything. So I think it was on a Tuesday, my mom called me. She's like, hey, you got another interview on Wednesday. And I was like, all right, cool, like another interview. And I was going to call off that day because I was like, I need to find another job. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't feel respected. It feels like, for me, this chick is more valuable. You rather have her dealing with animals that she could possibly kill an animal. And I know how to do everything. This chick doesn't know anything and she's getting 27? That doesn't make any sense. So Linda came up to me. She said, hey, I want to talk to you. And I was like, all right. She said, hey, we're bumping you up to 26, and I was so freaking happy. I was so happy. Soon after, the other technician that was there left, not because of the money situation, but it was another situation that she left, so we did get more, like, different techs. That was basically crazy. Very, very, very crazy. But I'm basically telling you guys this story is because these companies be doing that to you guys, man. And it really happened to me, and I was really struggling. It just doesn't make any sense how someone can come in here and lie on their resume. I'll never lie on my resume. Lie on their resume, come in and do God knows what, and get the amount of money that they want. And you could be sitting there being like, dang, I don't have that much, because I was getting 18. The doctor would be like, oh, prep the surgery for me. Always ask me. Never ask anyone else but ask me. And I was getting 18. That was like really bad. And I know you're probably watching this was like, well, I thought you was going to do it for free. Yeah, I could have done that for free, honestly, because I love animals. I want to learn more. But giving someone 27 that they don't know anything, you might as well just give that money to me. That doesn't make any sense. So while editing the video, I totally forgot to tell you guys what actually happened to Blondie. So Blondie had a situation where she was putting a patient under anesthesia, and I was basically telling her how to do it and all the other steps. Since she has 10 years of experience, she should know, right? But anyway, she was putting a patient under anesthesia, and the patient woke up and basically almost bit the tube. And if you guys don't know, the tube, if a patient biting down on the tube, it could be very dangerous because the tube could go down the throat, and that would lead to another surgery, and that could be very damaging to the patient. And she was freaking out, so me and the lead tech ran in the room and was like, what happened? And we basically like saved the day and put the patient right back under anesthesia. And she was basically dumbfounded and looking stupid. And yeah, we basically had a meeting and she quit because she obviously didn't know what she was doing. The situation with Linda, I want you guys to comment down below, and I really want to know if it was like an age discrimination type thing, because we had to like sign this contract saying that we won't be on our phone or something like that, and we did. I remember it was early in the morning and I was showing one of my friends, my coworkers, a meme. It was early morning. I just clocked in. There was no appointments, no nothing. And then she comes in and be like, put your phone away. And I was like, sorry. She says, sorry, look at the sign. You guys know Haunted House? What's his name? The angry old man that had the house?
Oh, get off my lawn!
That's what she sounded and looked like when she was saying that. Because I was just like, this is why I say age discrimination, because the lead tech, being 50 years old, she was on her phone, not even a couple of days after that incident. Linda looked at her and didn't say anything. So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, you gonna let her be on her phone, but then I'm on my phone early in the freaking morning, and like, if you gonna yell at someone, yell at everyone. Don't just yell at me. And I kind of feel like mostly the situation that I experienced was probably because I was the youngest person in the company, so they made me feel like, oh, she's young, she don't know what she's doing, oh, it's okay, you can give her this much. That's what I really truly believe. I don't want anyone to say like, oh, maybe it's because you're black. I had nothing to do with that, because there were other other black people. Freaking ghetto chick was black, so that had nothing to do with it. But I really felt like it was age discrimination. Yeah, I don't want to make this, I probably, hopefully, I didn't make this video way too long, but that's what happened. If you guys have a similar situation, please comment down below. Tell me about your thoughts and your opinions about the situation. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. And yeah, I love you guys. Bye bye. Hopefully you guys like the story. So yeah, bye.